Harine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. We are going to begin chapter 15 today. We finished reading the prayers, the beautiful prayers by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna. So chapter 15, the killing of Dhenuka, the ass demon. And I'm not sure what is this unmute room. Listen. I'm not sure what is that Zoom. Anyway, you all are able to hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay. Then I'm just going to ignore this. So we'll read the short summary of this chapter by, well, this is not by Srila Prabhupada, so the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. This chapter describes how Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, while tending the cows in the pastures of Vrindavan, killed Dhenukasur, enabled the residents of Vrindavan to eat the fruits of the tala trees, and saved the young cowherds from Kaliya's poison. Okay. Oh, sorry, this. Yeah, okay. Revealing their boyhood, Pauganda phase of pastimes, Rama and Krishna were one day bringing the cows to pasture when they entered an attractive forest decorated with a clear lake. There they began playing forest sports along with their friends. Pretending to tire, Lord Baladev laid his head upon the lap of a cowherd boy and rested as Lord Krishna helped relieve his elder brother's fatigue by massaging his feet. Then Krishna also placed his head on the lap of a cowherd boy to rest, and another cowherd boy massaged his feet. In this way, Krishna, Balaram, and their cowherd friends enjoyed various pastimes. During this play, Sri Dama, Subal, Stoka Krishna, and other cowherd boys described to Rama and Krishna a wicked and irrepressible demon named Dhenuka, who had assumed the form of a jackass and was living in the Talavan forest near Govardhan Hill. This forest was full of many varieties of sweet fruits, but fearing this demon, no one dared to relish the taste of those fruits, and thus someone had to kill the demon and all his associates. Lord Rama and Lord Krishna, hearing of the situation, set off for this forest to fulfill the desire of their companions. Arriving at the Talavan, Lord Balaram shook many fruits out of the palm trees, and as soon as he did so, the jackass demon Dhenuka ran swiftly to attack him. But Balaram grabbed his hind legs with one hand, whirled him around, and threw him into the top of a tree, thus slaying him. All of Dhenukasur's friends, overcome by fury, then rushed to attack, but Rama and Krishna took hold of them one by one, swung them around and killed them, until the disturbance was finally finished. When Krishna and Balaram returned to the cowherd community, Yashoda and Rohini placed them on their respective laps. They kissed their faces, fed them with finely prepared food, and then put them to bed. Some days later, Lord Krishna went with his friends, but without his older brother, to the banks of the Kalindi in order to tend the cows. The cows and cowherd boys became very thirsty and drank some water from the Kalindi, but it had been contaminated with poison, and they all fell unconscious on the riverbank. Krishna then brought them back to life by the merciful rain of his glance, and all of them, regaining their consciousness, appreciated his great mercy. So this was a short summary of what we're going to read in the chapter, and we are going to go text-wise now. Shri Shukovacha.
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Tatascha Paugandavaya Shrito Vraje
ततश्चपो गन्धवयाश्रितो व्रजे
बभूवतुस्तौ पशुपालसम्मतौ
बभूव तुत्सो पशुपालशमातो
गाश्चारयन्तौ शकिभिः समं पदेर्
गश्चार्यन्तो सखिभिः समन्पते
वृन्दावनं पुण्यमतीव चक्रतुः
वृन्दावनं पुण्यम् अतीव चक्रतु.
Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sukadev Goswami said, when Lord Rama and Lord Krishna attained the age of Poganda, 6 to 10, while living in Vrindavan, the cowherd men allowed them to take up the task of tending the cows. Engaging thus in the company of their friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavan most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet. So Poganda age is from which? What age is Poganda?
6 to 10.
6 to 10, yeah. Komar, what is the Komar?
Was Kumar, right?
That's Komar, 1 to 5.
Kumar.
So 1 to 5, that time Krishna and Balaram, they were taking, well, not 1 years, but when they were 5 years around, they were taking their calves. They were taking the calves, right? And now they're 6. So now they're taking the cows. And they're walking on the Braj, on the dust of Vrindavan. And they have these auspicious markings on their lotus feet. And as they're walking, this the markings get imprinted on the dust of Vrindavan. That's why the dust of Vrindavan is so auspicious. Till today, devotees go there. They take the dust of Vrindavan, put it on their heads. Some of them roll in the dust of Vrindavan because Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram have walked on this. The ground has been imprinted by this auspicious markings. Like Krishna's lotus feet, there's 26 markings. There is the barley corn, the Urdhva Rekha, there's the chakra, the lotus, the flag, the umbrella, like that. There are 26 markings on Lord Krishna's lotus feet. So Lord Krishna wanted to encourage his cowherd boyfriends who had been swallowed by Aghasur and then stolen by Lord Brahma. Therefore, the Lord decided to bring them into the palm tree forest called Talavan, where there were many delicious ripe fruits. Since Lord Krishna's spiritual body had apparently grown slightly in age and strength, the senior men of Vrindavan, headed by Nanda Maharaj, decided to promote Krishna from the task of herding calves to the status of a regular cowherd boy. So he would now take care of the full-grown cows, bulls, and oxen. Out of great affection, Nanda Maharaj had previously considered Krishna too small and immature to take care of full-grown cows and bulls. It is stated in the Kartikya Mahatmya section of the Padma Puran. So this verse which we are going to read, that's from Padma Puran. Shuklashtami Kartike tu smrita gopashtami buddhe taddinad vasudevo bhut gopa purvam tu vatsapaha. The 8th lunar day of the bright fortnight of the month of Kartik is known by authorities as Gopashtami. From that day, Lord Vasudev served as a cowherd, whereas previously he had tended the calves. So till today we celebrate Gopashtami. Comes in Kartik, the 8th day of the bright fortnight. So Ashtami, right? That's why it's called Ashtami. So Gopashtami. Padma Puran is saying this. That's when Gopashtami is the day when Lord Krishna, he went to the forest with the cows. He had grown up a little bit now. The words pade indicate that Lord Krishna blessed the earth by walking on a surface with his lotus feet. The Lord wore no shoes nor other footgear, but walked barefoot in the forest, giving great anxiety to the girls of Vrindavan, who feared that his soft lotus feet would be injured. So the gopis in the Gopi Geet, they say one of the verses is that Krishna, your lotus feet are so soft that we are afraid to put them even on our breasts, that our breasts are so hard. Your feet are so soft, softer than a lotus. And when you're walking around in the forests of Vrindavan, taking the cows, so we are filled with anxiety that your lotus feet will get pricked by the stones and by the thorns. So Lord Krishna has these auspicious markings. Whenever Krishna comes or his incarnations come, they always have this auspicious markings on their hands and the feet. That's how we can know that this is Lord, this is Krishna himself, this is God himself. No ordinary person can be Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes. Tanmadavo venumutiryan udirayan rito.
Tanmadhayo veenam udirayan rito.
Goper grenadbe swayasho balan vitaha.
Gopir granvidhi swayasho balaran vita.
Ashun puraskritya pashavyamavishad.
Pashun puraskritya pashavyam avishad.
Vihartu kama kusuma karam vanam.
Vihartu kama kushuma karam vanam.
Thus desiring to enjoy pastimes, Lord Madhav, sounding his flute, surrounded by cowherd boys who were chanting his glories, and accompanied by Lord Baladev, kept the cows before him and entered the Vrindavan forest, which was full of flowers and rich with nourishment for the animals. Srila Sanatana Goswami has explained the various meanings of the word Madhav as follows. Madhav normally indicates Krishna to be the Lord who is the consort of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. So, Bhagavad Gita also, Arjun addresses Krishna as, Hey Madhav, says Madhav. Madhav is a name for Krishna. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains. One of the meanings is husband of goddess Lakshmi. So this name also implies that Lord Krishna descended in the dynasty of Madhu. Descended in the dynasty of Madhu. Well, I'm not sure who's this Madhu, but I know he killed the Madhu demon. So that's why he's called Madhusudan. Anyway, since the spring season is also known as Madhav, it is understood that as soon as Lord Krishna entered the Vrindavan forest, it automatically exhibited all the opulences of spring, becoming filled with flowers, breezes, and a celestial atmosphere. So when Krishna was here on the earth, the season was very, very pleasing, not too hot, not too cold. Spring is very pleasing. So many flowers are blooming, very fragrant. So he's called Madhav also for that. Spring season is called Madhav. Another reason Lord Krishna is known as Madhav is that he enjoys his pastimes in Madhu, the taste of conjugal love. Madhu is also like the honey, right?
So
So
that's
he's been
why they are
called.
saying the Madhu Vansh.
What's that?
That's why above they said that उक्त नाम ये भी बताता है कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण मधु वंश में अवतरित हुए हैं. This is the Madhu that they're talking about.
Yeah, that one of the ancestors was Madhu, right?
Yeah.
One of
So
the ancestors is Madhu. And
no,
then he's
what I
also
am saying is that
Mhm.
is it because the line that you just read, माधुर्य प्रेम के स्वाद मधु में अपनी लीलाएं करते हैं.
So this is Madhurya, no? That's why it's called Madhav.
So he's saying that माधुर्य प्रेम के स्वाद मधु में अपनी लीलाएं करते हैं. तो इसलिए भी वो, क्योंकि वो लीलाएं अपने माधुर्य प्रेम में करते हैं, सो इसलिए भी क्या वो मधुवंश के कहलाते हैं?
No, इसीलिए वो माधव कहलाते हैं.
Okay. So there are 3 reasons they are giving, right?
Yeah, Madhu is
Lakshmi.
honey, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so because his all enjoyment or pastimes is just like a honey.
Yeah.
So that's why they are relating it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to say. That is it, that's why, or he's actually literally मधुवंश में अवतरित हुए हैं? Does it mean
नहीं,
literally?
मधुवंश
No,
नहीं
no.
है ना, यदुवंश है ना.
Also because here इधर लिखा हुआ है ना, Lord Krishna descended in the dynasty of Madhu.
But maybe
Yeah,
some
that's
ancestors,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So now we'll see. Now Madhav, Srila Sanatana Goswami is giving many reasons why he's called Madhav. What are some of them?
one of the first one is because he's the wife of Lakshmi Devi.
Husband.
Fortune of Lakshmi.
Husband of Lakshmi Devi. Yeah, he's the husband of Lakshmi Devi. So that's why he's called Madhav. Okay, what else?
The spring season.
Spring season. That's right. What else?
And because he entered to the Vrindavan forest, like
And that is
which
spring
is filled
season.
with filled with flowers, breezes, celestial atmosphere.
Yeah, that's the spring season. That's right. What else?
Because he enjoys his pastimes in Madhu.
That's right. Enjoys conjugal pastimes. So that's why it's also being called Madhav. And he's coming in the dynasty of Madhu. That's what's written, one of them. So many ways he's being called Madhav. So Lord Krishna would loudly sound his flute as he entered the forest of Sri Vrindavan, thus giving inconceivable bliss to all the residents of his hometown, Richdham. These simple pastimes of playfully entering the forest, playing on the flute, and so forth were performed daily in the spiritual land of Vrindavan. So Krishna is going into the forest with his friends. They're all very happy, and with the cows, and Krishna is playing on the flute. So it's like a festival every day. Every day Krishna does this. And every day is like a beautiful festival there. And looking at this festival, everyone is so happy. All the Brajvasis, their hearts are filled with contentment, love for Krishna. And Manju Goshali Mrigad Vijakulam
Tanmanjugoshali mriga dvijakulam
Mahan Manaprakyapaya Saraswata
Mahan mana prakyapaya saraswata
Vatena Jushtam Shatapatra Gandhina
Vatena jastam shatapatra gandhina
Niriksharantam Bhagavan Manodade.
Niriksharatnam rantam bhagavan manodade.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead looked over that forest, which resounded with the charming sounds of bees, animals, and birds, and which was enhanced by a lake whose clear water resembled the minds of great souls, and by a breeze carrying the fragrance of 100-petaled lotuses. Seeing all this, Lord Krishna decided to enjoy the auspicious atmosphere. Lord Krishna saw that the Vrindavan forest was giving pleasure to all 5 senses. The bees, birds, and animals made charming sounds that brought sweet pleasure to the ears. The wind was faithfully rendering service to the Lord by blowing throughout the forest, carrying the cool moisture of a transparent lake, and thus giving pleasure to the sense of touch. By the sweetness of the wind, even the sense of taste was being stimulated, and the fragrance of lotus flowers was bringing pleasure to the nostrils. And the entire forest was endowed with heavenly beauty, which was giving spiritual bliss to the eyes. So, total, all the senses are happy. The eyes are seeing the beauty of Vrindavan. The nose is smelling the fragrance of the lotuses. The wind is bringing soft, yeah, it's like soft to touch. And what was it? The taste, you could taste. There was sweet taste by this wind also. And with the ears, by hearing all the bees and the birds and animals. So it's like all the senses are feeling so much bliss. This is spiritual bliss. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has thus explained the significance of this verse. So this explanation is given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And this is the perfect engagement of the senses. All our senses, we're always looking for gratification. But the perfect sense gratification we can get is if we engage the senses in service of Krishna. Satatra tatranuna pallava shriya
Shatatra tatraruna palloshriya
pala prasunorubharena padayo
pala prasuna rubharena padayo
sprashachikan vikshavanaspattin muda
Sparshchikanti vikshaya vanashapitin muda
smayan ivagrajamahadipurushaha.
Smayan ivagrajamadi purusha.
The Brahmabal Lord saw that the stately trees with their beautiful reddish buds and their heavy burden of fruits and flowers were bending down to touch his feet with the tips of their branches. Thus he smiled gently and addressed his elder brother. The words Muda Smayan Eva indicate that Lord Krishna was in a joking mood. He knew that the trees were actually bowing down to worship him. But in the following verse, the Lord, speaking in a friendly, light-hearted mood, gives the credit to his brother Balaram. So the trees, heavy with fruits, flowers, they are bowing down. They are offering obeisances to Krishna. And Krishna understands that. But he's saying to Lord Balaram, we are going to read that tomorrow, that look how these trees are welcoming you, that they're bowing down at your lotus feet. Did you all want to add anything? Any comments?
Such a beautiful, explanation of the Vrindavan.
Yeah, you can see
So it
Sukadev
gives so much.
Goswami is such a great poet, right? How he's describing to us. He's like showing us this picture of Vrindavan, of Krishna, his friends, the cows. Yeah.
And somehow, to some level, it feels like when you really go to the jungle, not to your all five senses, definitely, but you just feel happy there. Even if right now, if you go in, definitely, because that is Vrindavan, right? That is the actual Golok. So that is different. It will give pleasure because it is a reflection. So it will have the power to satisfy all your five senses. And they are engaged in Krishna's service because you're thinking
Well,
that
it's not reflection, it is spiritual world. It's
sorry,
just we
it is
can't
the
see it.
spiritual world. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's just we can't
then
see it.
we can't see it. But then we just think that sometimes when we just enter any jungle, then also we just have we're happy in a sense that when we see the forest, but it doesn't have the power to satisfy all the five senses. That's what I'm trying to, the comparison
yeah.
that, because it
Yeah.
is, and like, I think sometimes if we just see a flower, we can offer it there to Krishna and we can just appreciate that how beautiful you have made it.
Yeah,
But
that's true. Yeah, Sneha will tell us. She went now recently,
Yes,
right,
yes,
to
that's what I was
Vrindavan.
going to say. That see how we say Brindavan, Golok Brindavan. This is Bolok Brindavan. It's the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, of course. And then when like I entered that Niti, I mean the Raman Reti and how everyone was rolling on the sand,
Mm.
like, they were
Yeah.
throwing the sand to each other. It was such a beautiful feeling entering Vrindavan. Like you can
Mm.
feel the divine, yeah, the vibes. My gosh, it's yeah, very nice, very beautiful. I was feeling so good. The first day when I like entered, it was like wow. I felt like I was getting that strength. That thing was coming because that was our last, the last leg, no? From all
Mm.
this thing wherever we have gone. That was the last place which we
Mm.
went. It was so nice, really. With
Yes.
even wherever, like all those spots, we are going, even the Govardhan, Prakrima. We were, of course, in the auto, but it was a nice feeling. And you can see the monkeys also. Oh, they were very playful. Naughty.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm. So nice.
so nice,
Yeah,
so nice.
Vrindavan. Krishna is
Yeah.
always there. That's why it's the Dham.
It's a dance.
It's called
Yeah.
Dham because Krishna never leaves the Dham,
I
Vrindavan.
remember there was this one devotee, and when we went there, we couldn't take the darshan. Well, actually, the temple was closed once when we reached there. The temple was closed, but then I saw this devotee, and she said, "Doesn't matter. Krishna is there, right? The temple is closed, but Krishna is there. So let's just bow down here. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, the
So
temple
we
closes,
just,
right? 12 to 4.
yeah, four, yeah.
Yeah.
So the temple was closed. So she said it doesn't matter, but Krishna is there, right? So
Yeah.
who cares? Let's just touch the feet. Let's just touch the ground with our head and bow down. Krishna is there. He has walked over this land. So we don't need to wait. If we get the darshan, it's very good. If he doesn't, then it's still okay. Let's just bow down here. And she opened, like, she didn't wear the slippers when she entered. She walked the bare feet throughout Vrindavan, and then she just bowed down and touched the road outside the temple, and she just sat in the side and bowed down, and she was just calling out to Krishna there. So she said
So
Krishna is
good.
everywhere. Even if the
Mm.
temple is closed, it doesn't matter. It's okay. So,
So good.
wow. I
They
was,
say that when we lie down to sleep in Vrindavan, we're
mm,
getting the benefit of offering obeisances because you're lying
wow.
down. So by even sleeping in Vrindavan,
Hmm.
then you're getting the benefit of offering obeisances.
Our first journey, like as soon as I got married, my Nani Sas planned a trip for us to Vrindavan. We were just maybe 10 days married. So
Mm.
everybody took us to Vrindavan, and then we slept with everybody. Like how it was in the olden time. It was like this is 26 years back. So there used to be dharamshala, the big ones, the nice ones
Right.
near the
Mm.
temple. So like all though there were rooms, but then we all decided, because we were just newly married, कि सारे एक साथ सोएंगे. And I remember we were just 10 days married. So I always tell that for our honeymoon we went to Vrindavan.
Vrindavan.
Very good. Very good.
So like she wanted कि भाई आप दोनों मिलके जल मतलब दूध चढ़ा दो
Yeah.
मतलब वहां पर
So good.
Surbhi Kund. They actually they pray at the Surbi Kund. तो उनकी इच्छा थी कि सुरभि कुंड पे आप दूध धरा दो. आपका शादी हुआ फिर पता नहीं कब आओगे या जैसा भी एक बार गए तो. So Rohit's nani is the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. She follows. So she took us to Surabhi Kund. The Vallabhacharya Sampradaya, they offer milk at Surabhi Kund always.
Mm.
And
So
there
So
was
good.
one place also, that's what we had to offer also the milk, you know. Dude, I think it was a mountain.
that is
place.
Jagatpura. Majorly, that is the Jagatpura. And there is like also the painting, if you had seen. Was it the same place?
You mean
Where you
painting?
offered the milk? Yeah.
Milk
There was no
was
date. It was
like
just the
it was a
original
stone,
Shila.
like
Yeah,
a
it was the it is
issue
the
like
original
the
Shila.
mountain. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the original Shila, yeah.
Sheila. Yeah.
Govardhan Parvat. It's the original Govardhan Parvat where they
Oh, but
offered that.
that's what, yeah. So that's where, like, you know, we all had to go.
Jattipura, sorry, not Jagatpura, Jattipura, Jattipura.
Jattipura. Achha.
Yeah, that's called Jattipura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So
remember my
good.
brother goes every month, so he just goes to Jattipura and they just do the parikrama and come. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So that is the place, yeah.
Mm.
So
Wow.
good. Yeah. That's the glories of Vrindavan. Whatever we can experience to our degree, right?
Hmm.
A little bit degree, whatever we can experience. Thank you all. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare